So Russia has defaulted on its foreign debt. This is because it offered the bondholders of that debt payments in rubles and not dollars. Now, the bonds that they tried to pay on are what's called dollar denominated bonds. This means that the contract for the bonds required that the payments be made in US dollars. This is why many nations hold reserves of US dollars across the world, because it's more of a secure currency than rubles or yuan or other currencies. There are euro denominated bonds as well, because euros are quite secure as well. So what happens is when Russia tried to pay the dollar denominated bonds in rubles, it went into selective default. That's because investors are unlikely to be able to convert rubles into dollars in the original due amounts. Because of that, Russia will likely sue an international court to allow this, because they claim they undertook all the necessary actions so that investors would receive their payments. It's just in dollars. Essentially, they're saying, or in rubles, I mean, essentially they're saying that they would be able to make their payments if it weren't for these sanctions. Well, the reality is this: they would be able to not be sanctioned if it weren't for them invading Ukraine. So the issue is they're claiming there's no grounds for real default because they have the money, they just can't access it. The problem is when it comes to their credit rating, defaulting is only one part of the problem. Their security as a nation to make loans and pay their loans is being hit because of what they're doing in Ukraine. And it's showed recently as the dollar or the ruble have fell against the dollar by 5% in the last 24 hours. It was being artificially propped up anyways because of internal monetary policies requiring Russian businesses to do transactions in rubles, which means that they had to buy rubles. This is overseas, I mean. So lots to happen here. Russia has a 30-day grace period where they can try to make the payment plus interest. If they don't make it, then they absolutely go into default, and it will hurt their credit rating for future loans, which could impact any kind of recovery they try to attempt to make after this war, and any type of recovery they try to inflict on their military, or recovery they try to have in their military to conduct future operations. They may just not have the money to do so. So we'll see how it goes. Russia has not defaulted for over 100 years. I think the last time was 1916. But as of right now, they're in default, and we'll see what takes place after the 30-day grace period.